Today's question: why do people settle where they settle? You've studied the different regions of the United States, and why do people choose to settle in one region and not another? That's what we're going to answer today. Why do people settle where they settle? So let's look at this map, and I want you to think, where would you settle if you came upon this land? Over here at point A, over here at point B, or maybe over here at point C. Notice where the mountains are, where the rivers are, where the forests are. Okay. Now let's think, what do you need? Make a list on your worksheet of what you need. You need fresh water for drinking and for planting or watering plants. Materials for building a shelter. You need something that you can build a home out of. Food. I can't believe I didn't think of that one first. You need food, something to eat, whether it's fish from the sea or land that you can farm. And a good way to trade and communicate. Sometimes you're not going to have all of these things, so you always need a way that you can trade and communicate with other people. So let's look back. Where would you settle? Well, I'm not sure that A has fresh water. I'm over here by the ocean. I don't really have any rivers and ponds. I guess I could go over here, but it's across the mountains. It's not nearby, it's not close. Well, I do have plenty of trees to make shelter out of. Okay, it's mixed. I'm not sure, and I could fish in the sea. It's not bad. What about B? Fresh water from the river. I could dock ships here. It's protected by an island, so I could use ships to go and trade and communicate other places. I'm not too far from some forest up here where I could get wood to build a shelter, maybe hunt animals for my meals. B is looking like a pretty good spot. Let's look at C. Go down our list. Fresh water. It looks like I might be in a swamp, so I'm not sure. I might be covered in water. I just have mountains around me. There's not a lot of trees, not a lot of roads, not a lot of ways to communicate with other people. C does not look like a good spot. So my first choice would be B. It has everything we need. Second choice would be A. It has a couple things we need. The last choice would be C. You're kind of isolated out there in the swamps. Some people do it. The Cajuns can do it. I couldn't do it out there in the swamps. Now, why would this be a bad place to settle? Think about it. Go down your list. Do you have fresh water? Don't see any. Do you have materials to build things? Don't see much. Do you have food? Doesn't look like it. Is it good for trading? Well, you're surrounded in mountains. It looks like it'd be quite a workout if you wanted to go anywhere. So, no, I don't think this is a good place to settle because it doesn't have any of the resources that you need. Why would this be a great place to settle? Now, go down your list. Now, notice people already settled there. Don't get too excited. It's already taken. But if it wasn't, why would this be a great place to settle? Well, fresh water in your river. Materials, looks like lots of forest and plants around. Food, well, you have fish from the ocean. It looks like you can also grow plants. Good for trade? Well, yeah, absolutely. You're right where a river meets the ocean. That means all the things that you could trade on the river can be traded out here on the ocean and shipped to anywhere in the world. It's great for trade. This is a great place to settle because it has all of the things that we need. Now, we can use these guidelines to answer this question and find out, so why did people settle where they settled in the United States? Here's a population map showing the populations of different states, how many people live in the different places. This is per square mile, so the darker it is, the more people that live there. And look at the connection I see between my population map and my physical map. The places where people don't live are the places that are covered in mountains. And they're a tundra landscape. There's not many resources there. Also, the Southwest. It's all desert, so you don't see very many people living in the Southwest. Now, to make it even more clear, check this out. My resource map shows me where natural resources are. The darkest places on the map have the most natural resources, so people settle there. There are places with a few natural resources, and people settle there too. And then very few people settle out here in the mountain areas of the West, where there aren't very many natural resources. So now we can start to see the connection between the natural resources of an area and why people may or may not settle in an area. Very interesting. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk more about how people can impact the land once they move there. But first, you're learning today, why do people move there?